So guys, we've learned about functions more and then how can use for loop and while loop as well. We've learned about that, and now I would like to talk about the different tutorial and different theme right now. So what about I will talk right now, that is a JavaScript arrays. So what actually means and what is JavaScript arrays and why you use and learn about arrays. So far we've learned about numbers and then strings, and then we've learned the data types. So but numbers are strings, that's okay, that's just simple math. Let's say math, or let's say it's a little bit boring, but you can do more thing with numbers and with strings. So JavaScript lets you guys create some group to gather data, then you can work with this data by interesting ways. So that's the array will help you and make your, let's say, make your tutorial a little bit exciting, or a little bit interesting, not boring. Okay, so let's learn about arrays. So what is array? Firstly, array is just a list of JavaScript data values. So I will give some data value and then create over here. Let's completely delete that scripts from script.js. Now I'm going to create some variable, and then I'm going to tell you the programming languages. So let's say I have Prolang. Okay, that's our let's say Prolang is our programming language, and I'm going to create the array, and we will use these brackets, square brackets. Okay, so let's write some programming language names. First of all, I will write JavaScript, because we are learning about JavaScript now, and then Python, then PHP, PHP, then C#. Okay, so that's, let's say we have 4 programming languages in our Prolang variable. So that's strings. We have 4 separate strings, and we can just use this single array Prolang all together by the name array Prolang. So if we write separately, why we should now care about and learn about arrays? Why is important to learn about array, and why you should care firstly? So let's say we have 4 programming languages, but if you want if you want to use a program to keep track of more programming languages, and then if you have not 4, let's say 15, 20 and much more programming language you want to write, so you should create for each programming language one variable. Prolang 1 equals to, let's say, JavaScript, and then you should create second variable. It is Prolang 2, and you can write Python, and then you should create third one, Prolang 3, then you will call it PHP, and etc. etc. Okay, so but if you imagine if you were keeping tracking or you are writing not 3 4 100 language or another variables, let's say not programming language and other things, you should create for everyone, for each one, new variable. So that's crazy now. That's why these arrays will help to you, because uh, it is 100 or 1000 separate variables. If you need to create these separate variables, which would be almost impossible to work with. So that's the way how can we overcome this situation. So guys, as you see here, we have, I'm going to delete that, and then we have this simple syntax. So an empty array, I'm going to show you, that's an empty array, and then we use square brackets. Within these brackets we are using strings, okay, and we will store the array in a variable called let's say Prolang or programming language. So I'm going to show you another thing. If you are working with arrays elements, and if you want access an arrays elements, how actually you can access, guys. So let's take this one and go to our page. So I'm going to go from here to console. Just open up console over here. Alright, hi Cameron. Good. So I'm going delete that and write over here and put over here my Prolang, and then I want to write, let's say, Prolang square brackets 0. Okay, result is JavaScript. So starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, that's the accessing, that's the index of the element you want. If you want to reach, if you want to access C#, you should write Prolang okay, Prolang, let's write 0, 1, 2, 3. Now we access to C#, guys. So that's the way actually how can write and how can create the syntax and create some arrays. In the next video we will learn about, guys, how can we change elements in array and other topics for the next video. See you in the next one, guys. Welcome back, guys. Now as we promised in the previous video, we should talk about and learn about how can set or how change elements in array. So we can use indexes in square brackets to set or to change and even add elements to an array. So just an example I'm going to show you. So for example, I want to replace the JavaScript, or let's say not JavaScript, Python to, let's say, Java. How to do that? So Firstly, to replace the second, let's say second element, but by index 1. So let's write over here variable proleng equals to Python, or not Python, and let's write over here 1. Okay, I'm going to change that let's say I'm going to change that to Java. So copy and paste. Let's go to our project, our browser, and then changed our no, let's do that again. I don't need the variable again. Okay, it's proleng 1 to Java. So proleng. Now we have JavaScript and Java and PHP and C#. Okay, now you can't see Python. So we've done that, and that's the pro language variable. So guys, now let's say we've learned about now how can we set or change the variables, and now I'm going to talk about how mix the data types in an array. So how to do that? So array elements, they don't all have to be the same type. So any array elements can contain numbers as well, not only string. Okay, so let's say I have now over here proleng JavaScript Python. I'm going to delete the Java, and instead C#, I'm going to write over here the number, or not number, I'm going to write, yes, one number, 35. Okay, just now 35 is enough, and then I'm going to create within array another arrays. So let's write over here some Java, and then write here, let's say C language. Okay, then number 20. That's all my proleng and proleng num. Okay, let's change the name as well, because we have numbers and language as well. So to access an individual element in this inner array, I mean Java and C, you would just use a second set of square brackets, as you see here. And then, for example, now I'm going to give just an example over here what I mean actually. How can we do that? So let's write proleng num. Okay, proleng num, and number. So number, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4. So let's check what we will get. And we get Java and C because that's together. Then I'm going right over here. Prolong num and 4 and 0. I've got Java because for this array, that's if you see this an array, a separate arrays, you will see that here we have two elements, 0 and 1. That is Java and C, guys. So that's the way how can we actually mix the data types in an array, and how can we access them as well. So one thing more, I'm going to show you how can we work with arrays. So let's say adding some elements to an array. So I'm going to go firstly here, and let's say I have this. I want to work with now only programming language, that is C, and the last one is, let's say, Java. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to add an element to the end of an array, and for this there are methods, and I'm going to shoot the method, then change prolong. Let's write prolong let's write prolong dot push, and let's write, open up our brackets, C#. Okay, so let's see what happens in our console. Now it is 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but by the number, by the index is clear. But if I will write prolong, I have C# as well, because this push, through this push, I've added the element I want. So another thing, to add an element to the beginning of an array, we can use unshift element. So if I do here prolong, not push, but unshift, okay, so save that and copy and paste and check over here, prolong. Now the C# at the beginning of array. So unshift helps to add element to the beginning of an array. So if you want to delete the last one, let's say I want to delete the last one, I'm going to show you over here. Let's write in prolong dot pop and close Java. We've deleted Java. Prolang now doesn't have Java. So the last one was deleted, was removed through prolang.pop. So that is the interesting points of array and work with arrays. So I want to tell you guys one thing more, how to join multiple arrays. Okay, so let's write second variable num equals 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we want to join these multiple arrays. How can do that? I'm going to write variable prolang num equals prolang dot concat with num. Okay, so what I will get as a prolang num, see it over here. Now we have all together prolang num, we have everything together. So it was appeared from the previous one, but now here we have, as you see here in the, not just ignore this one, you have to see right now all prolang and all num. So through concat we can join multiple arrays, guys. That's all. See you in the next one.